see if.
All right, we here another one live one, man. We back again. So this y'all getting a treat everywhere
Hey
that
man, hey, I'm Matt. That's Daryl. You can see what's going on. Hey, Sunday sports scenario live situation. Last week it felt so good, man. We decided to run it back one more time. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
It was another week where the sports guys was very generous to us with content that moved all over the place. We saw some people get very rich. Uh, we saw some early week humility, but however, a win for literacy. We'll get on that in a second. We got an unexpected midweek treat with Britney Griner coming on back to the crib, man. So it was a lot going on. That plus a whole lot more, man. So hey, we wanted to get in, but we wanted to get everybody here to be involved in it. So here we go. We're running it back, man.
Yeah,
So,
let's jump right in, man.
absolutely.
Let's go Herschel Walker. I mean, people have that's the main thing of what people have looked on here for. We'll get to the other quick topics later. You said that it was a win for literacy.
Yeah, man. I mean, a victory for Georgia for sure, but for the rest of us, it was a victory for literacy, man. And here's what I mean by that, man. Like, there was a time, once upon a time, where I enjoyed a good, hilarious political candidate that was out there or a sitting officer, but now there's just way too many of
Shout out
them.
to Herman Cain.
Exactly. It's not Big Daddy Herman Cain.
Big Daddy Herman Cain. Exactly.
It's not funny anymore because now I'm like it's overdone. We've had too much of it. There's too many people that are quote unquote funny in office, and Herschel was bringing a whole different type of vibe to it. Like I felt Herschel was giving me low key Django vibes, man. Like one of the cats that got away, and then he was like, "No, I'm finna sit here and I'm finna really captoe and be that guy for y'all, man." But I'm glad that things worked out the way it did, obviously. But it's not about a political leaning or anything. It's just like the bar can't go too low, and
it can go lower, I think.
And all right, so that's what I want to talk about. Like we could. I ain't here to talk about the politics of Herschel Walker. I feel like Herschel was put up on stage to play a role, and he got up there and he played it.
He did one of the best sleight of hands with trying to change Coon into a smart animal. Like
that was a level of pivot that I just had to bring to the people and prove to them. I was like, all right, man. So like we did on the last scenario we did an outright talking about how some words are getting repurposed, and I was just like, that ain't one you're gonna bring to the culture. And it's gonna like here's the thing, and we'll definitely talk about this when we get to Britney Griner in a couple minutes here, is that there's a lot of things that can divide us on opinion, but it takes a unique individual to bring us together. And that's the credit I'm gonna give Herschel Walker, because he brought us, well, not enough of us by the stats down south, but in the greater culture, I feel like overall, he brought us together and being like, nah, man, this ain't it. Like people that are arguing about everything else.
But did he really? Because I mean, Warren, I barely won, man. I mean, I guess because it was only one state, so I guess
it was one state. It was one state, and it still is a state down. And call them purple as you want to. I argue that a little bit, but I mean, it's one state down south that he got over. But I think like in the greater, like the larger part of America, there was a whole lot of us that were just like, hey man, we can't be out here like this. This can't be who we are in the big picture.
I mean. Yeah.
Oh, and if we didn't say it real quick, man, get your messages in.
Yeah, get them in. If you're on YouTube, you could jump in and join us. Potentially, I gotta do some. Maybe we don't do that. We don't have nobody that we can actually to moderate. So, no, you can't come in because that means somebody needs to like vet you in the background.
Yeah, like you can't come in here yelling at us and stuff.
We on a 2-man ship. This is a 2-man rowboat. We don't have a captain. So
yeah.
Oh, so shout out to Crew Love. He just says, Herschel saved my Cowboys. He will always be indebted to me.
See? All right, man. So here's the thing I'm going to say. That's the two-way question I have right here off the top. Scenario of the week. Scenario of the week here up top. What level does an athlete have to be at for you personally, for you just to sweep that level of ridiculousness under the rug? Like we've gone to the level before where we've had the OJ theory. And the OJ theory is that it took a lot of years for the first black person to be like, hey, man, did he do it? And there's a couple of people that's still out there where you just like in your mind and in your heart, you know they did what people are saying they did.
I'll never say it.
But I'm not going. Nope. Not even if in your soul, you know it happened. Speaking of that, this week, R. Kelly once again reemerged, but we ain't gonna do that on this show. We're not gonna do that on this show. But there's a lot of R. Kelly deniers out there as well, too. But yeah. So for you, man, who's an athlete in your world where you just like, hey, I just can't go against this brother, no matter whether they've done something crazy before or whether they have never done anything like that and likely wouldn't. Just who's somebody you can't turn your back on?
Rocker, the pitcher.
John Rocker?
Yeah.
Wait, you believe in him?
No. Oh, I think he said don't believe. Like I don't believe.
No, I'm saying an athlete, somebody that you believe in to the extent like what Crew Love just said. Like, yo, he did it for me.
Okay. Ooh. Dang, everybody. It's the way we live in our society now. It's so easily to have chinks in your armor. You know, so I don't know who it would be. I guess on paper, I think Steph Curry, but then I think Steph Curry is somewhat fraudulent. I don't know if it's like I feel like we'll find out something down the line.
You think Steph's days is numbered? Like Steph is really out here?
No. We'll end up finding out that Steph was on something else. I mean, I don't know, you know.
Oh man, that's a whole different level. I want to go down into that one day. See, for me, a cat I just can't turn against, and I'm just like, I pray nothing crazy ever came out, and I can't do it. It's Ozzie Smith, man. I can't go against Ozzie Smith, dog. That would shatter me like back to my very roots of who I was getting into the sports game in general. Like I believe in Ozzie since I was as long as I can remember being alive. So I just hope that nothing bad ever came out about Ozzie or Ozzie decided to run for office. I don't want Ozzie to run for office ever.
Well, I do want. Oh, you know what?
I mean, he is the mayor. He is the mayor emeritus of St. Louis. Nobody in St. Louis gets more love than Ozzie Smith across the board. Nobody.
I agree. Oh, shout out to Daniel Hurd. Shout out to my slew brother Daniel Hurd and your frat brother. Ken Griffey Jr. for sure, he says.
Ooh. Hey, shout out to Ken Griffey Jr. for putting the HBCU baseball classes together too.
Oh, shout out to Trina Dudley. She says Ozzie almost lost it when his son was cast as a deadbeat.
Yeah.
Hold on. I don't know about this, Trina. Trina, you're going to have to go. I don't know. I've never heard of this situation.
Hey, man. Listen.
I know you probably know because you're on the inside of baseball stuff. So
there's a hero. I'm gonna put it in another way. I'll let Trina can put what she wants to about. We'd be real careful what we put out about people.
Look, you can see the comments on the side, right? So we don't have to put it on the screen necessarily if Trina goes to the right.
Yeah. Speaking of which, we've seen what happened when you get some of your heroes to get out into the open space and things just get real wild when they start talking. But then, like, it goes to the scenario: who's an athlete that, for bad or for worse, not bad or worse, it could even be better, that you don't want to see run for office just because the outcome could be real tragic, even if it's hilarious on the way out. Can I offer one up here first?
Go ahead.
One from the past and one from right now. I don't want to see Kevin Garnett run for office because I couldn't imagine seeing Kevin Garnett in a debate. It would. It would be on air for like 5 minutes.
Like honeycombs. What do you say? Honey nut Cheerios.
Yeah, like it could get real bad. Who you got?
Oh man, I was thinking Randy Moss.
Oh, why not? Randy would be hilarious.
But I think Randy also would just go off the Richter as well, and he would say some. And I know Randy, if you listen to this, you probably aren't. But you know, as the show grows, you may see this clip somewhere. I can see Randy being like, but it's okay to date white women. Like I can see him being like, or the reason he only dates white women. I could feel that coming out from a clip somewhere. It feels like Randy would say that somewhere in the spectrum.
Oh man, I don't even know Randy's background like that.
And that would jam him up. He's from West Virginia. That's one.
I get that. West Virginia is a risk. I don't know. I would love to give West Virginia in play though with a Randy Moss potentially. I mean, I think he might be a little bit more fair than Joe Manchin. Who else?
We got comments flying through, man. We got them flying through. Matt Oates says, COVID saved me from learning that Patrick was truly MAGA Mahomes. Shutting down.
Oh, MAGA Mahomes.
Shout out to Trina. She says, story has it he had a son that he didn't care for. So is that Ozzie Jr. we talking about, or the actual wizard, Trina?
So Okay, so the other thing that I say about that too is that moves you into the Larry Bird category right there. And we didn't get Larry Bird completely out of here, but it did definitely. I know that changed some people.
Junior. She said Junior in the comments. Junior.
Okay. So I don't know, man. When I sit there and I look at those shining knights, you know what I mean?
Chris Cooper says Shannon Sharp.
Hey, that might. Hey,
Chris, you might be onto something, Chris.
Hey, that might be hilarious though. That might be hilarious though. Hey, I got another one. I who, like, I don't even want him to be like a state senator. I don't want Draymond Green to run for office. That could get real bad.
Ooh.
That could get real ugly.
Yeah. I mean, we can't have Michael Jordan run either, right?
Listen, Michael Jordan is probably, I got my thing where I say, they say never meet your heroes. I don't ever really want to meet Michael Jordan. I just want to admire him from afar. And I think Mike running for office as a moderate Republican out of North Carolina might shatter me a little bit.
Next up, so we got one. Matt Oates back in here. He says, my biggest concern about Herschel Walker in the Senate is that a brother ain't built for debate. He was going to be in the halls of Congress. But now, which Herschel are we talking about? Because Herschel has multiple personalities. So what Herschel will we get in Senate?
We'll get whatever Herschel Donald Trump wanted to have in Senate. I don't know. I mean, I think that would be it. If Herschel Walker was in office, he would have definitely had an offensive coordinator calling the shots. And I think that's why that not happening was very important. Now, I was watching the post party and the speech. I was just like, can't be a teleprompter. Like, there's no way that there's a teleprompter here. We're telling he told people to pray 5 times. I was like, man, it looked like people prayed already because you're not giving the victory speech. So
is this similar to Candyman, where you say Candyman, like Herschel in the mirror 5 times?
I don't want to know what happens if you say Herschel that many times in the mirror. I don't even want to say the word Herschel that many times in a row. But
I have a shout out to Herschel from the same Forest Park Golf Club. He's a good brother. Take care of us a lot over there. I know that you've been taking a hard road with Herschel Walker being out here for all the Herschels. Ain't nothing
like somebody doing your name wrong in the public specter. I've had to deal with that several times. Word to Matt Ryan every Sunday.
I mean, is it worse when your exact name is locked up for armed robbery, killing of a security guard in South Carolina, and you have the exact same name as him?
Yeah, that's bad business right there. That's bad business. I'm just gonna say it. That's bad business. All right, man. So, hey, we in the express lane. Let's keep it moving, man.
Yep.
Hey,
Britney Griner, man,
is out, back,
and everybody is now geopolitical commentators on both sides.
Here's the thing. All right, so I'm glad that the lady is back. I think for a number of different reasons that had to happen. It was high profile. It was hitting on minority politics. It was hitting on a number of different things, and then most importantly, it just flat ass wasn't right. But I mean, you also can't tell people. For better or for worse, it's also hard to tell people what the laws of their land are, even if we don't agree with it. But I still think that it was overkill. And if it would have been one of us, they would have just shook us down and sent us back. But they saw what they had in her. And they was like, oh, no, we got to come up right here. We're going to hold on to this one. We're going to get something back for it. And here's my thoughts about it. I'll let you know what it is. Man, it ain't like America ain't never done that before. Come on, man. Come on.
Man, they mentioned Herschel Walker earlier, where Crew Love said about the fleecing that the Dallas Cowboys got for Herschel Walker. That is one of the worst trades ever in the history of man.
What's the worst trade? The Herschel Walker trade for the back in the 80s, or the Britney Griner trade now?
Oh, the Herschel Walker trade is worse. They built a whole franchise off of one player. What Michael Irving, Aikman. Didn't they have one old lineman that was dope?
Yeah, they had somebody else in that thing. I'm sure somebody
they had like some defensive players that were big cogs, and they got like 5 picks.
It was the worst trade. It was the Herschel Walker trade was so bad that Master P couldn't do a trade worse than it, and he got a whole team to change their whole draft.
Trina Dudley said she thinks now is worse than the Herschel Walker trade.
Ooh, so here, all right, man. Here's my thing. I'm gonna say is that I'm not like the most geopolitically in-depth person all time. I read a lot. I know about enough things to stay dangerous with it. I mean, maybe when you get back an all-star center, an all-star WNBA center for a guy that's called the God of War, the optics on that are
Yeah,
kind of wild.
In all seriousness, I mean, this one is a lot different. I just say that trade for Dallas Cowboys set up all these Dallas Cowboys fans that we see now that annoy the hell out of us. Think about the ramifications of that one trade of what that we had to deal with in this United States of America for the last 20-some years.
Every Cowboys fan that annoys you, any city that you in America, there's a Cowboys fan that annoys you in it somewhere.
And it's Herschel Walker's fault.
And it's all on Herschel Walker. So think about what's worse. A dude that inspired a Nick Cage movie, which can be egregious, or annoying Cowboys fans in your life. Which one is it? Which one's impacted you worse over the years?
I think the Cowboys fans have impacted us more personally.
I do too.
Day-to-day. Well. Geopolitics wise, maybe the God of War, yes. Or I forgot what they call him, the God of whatever he is.
Who knows? It's a wild ass nickname either way it went. Old boy was wild too. I was looking at the 60 Minutes interview they had with him. He was a wild boy, it looked like.
Yeah.
But here's my thing about that is that you had 11 years left on that sentence no matter what. And unless you was going to just keep rolling it over, doing more stuff with what you was getting from him, I mean, you was going to have to let that one walk anyway. I guess there's a lot of people that say that, hey, if you're going to make that trade, get a little bit more back. You know, I mean, it's hot stove season in baseball. So, I mean, I'm hearing a lot about trades right now. We talking about Herschel Walker trades. That's an example of getting everything back that you can get back. And then you got, sometimes you give up a little too much and you get it back. I don't know, man. I think it's a little bit of a damned if you do, damned if you don't. But the question for the purpose of this show, so we don't turn this show into politics as usual, I don't want to step on other people's land, is that if Britney Griner decides...
Herschel was a savior. Quit the hate.
If Britney Griner decides to play in the WNBA again, which I don't know if that's an absolute or whatever is going to go. I don't know her mental state or where things is at. I think she's going to be paid forever now, no matter what. Like, she's going to be set up.
Oh, so you think that it's a possibility that she has to get paid now?
Oh, I think that. I mean, I just think, listen, when you get to a certain point, when you got notoriety to a certain point, you can live off like appearance and speaker fees and stuff like that. Like, I think Britney Griner is going to be great no matter what now, just off of, the experience that she had. I mean, a book deal. Hell, she'll be set up out here.
The movie.
Yeah, I mean, like the whole thing, like she's together. But if she decides to keep hooping, is this going to be in the weirdest possible way that I can imagine anything being the best thing ever for the WNBA?
Yes. Britney had to get sacrificed for they all could live.
Damn, man. The WNBA got it hard out here, man, if that's what it is. And
it sucks too, though. It sucks. It really sucks.
That is crazy as
hell. Think about how their games are going to be packed when this season coming up.
It's gonna. I mean, if she play, I don't know what she's.
Yeah, she might not play. Look, if I'm the WNBA, look here. We fought for you to bring your ass back. We put the God of War out there for you to come back. You got to play.
Yeah, you got
to. That might be part of the deal, man. Yeah, she got to play.
Do you think that was an insistence by the people? Like, hey, you got to play ball.
It may be a little nudge assistance, like, hey, are you gonna play if you come back? Well, I don't know. I've been going through a lot. Oh, okay. Well, we'll figure out something else. We'll figure out something else.
So, I mean, I'm really happy to see that, what I'm saying, that she's back. The price of it, yeah, hey, man, you can debate that. It's a whole thing. I think that that's kind of a wild situation here, just in general, for Biden to be in, to have to make that move. But, I mean, in a lot of different regards, I mean, it was a political win for him in some regards. It absolutely had to be.
Matt Oates says U.S. versus Russia collusion in 2024 Olympics could be all time.
Oh no, man! Does that mean that like America's gonna have like a committee of America's teams because America gonna be banned from the Olympics in 2028?
Oh,
damn, man! I hope not, dog. The World Cup coming up and everything, man. We can't get banned on a global level. We can't be getting ready to host the World Cup and then not be able to play in it. We finally are on the verge of being good.
Yeah.
We finally on the verge of being able to win one elimination game, man.
Man, but I just think like there's no win, no loss, and like there's nothing they could do about this to a certain extent because the pressure on Biden and them was to get this woman home.
Yeah.
Because the WNBA, like she gonna have to play. Like I know that sounds messed up.
They might have to let her play in the NBA now. I don't know, man. She might have to really get out here. Like there's like the Oklahoma City Thunder. She'd be the most popular player on the Thunder right now. Like she might have to play like a physical small forward in the NBA right now.
Matt says she gonna dunk Nana straight to hell.
It's wild, man. But it's crazy some of the things that we had to debate this week in the world of sports. Now, one thing we didn't have to debate was, hey, yo, baseball players is getting the bag out here right now. The crazy bag right now.
Look, and this is a question I've wanted to ask you for a long time when it comes to baseball. Their revenue is not as much as some other sports. Is there a welfare system going on in baseball where they can stay at a high level, or these TV deals are really giving them as much bread?
Let me explain it to you pretty easily. Nobody does better with regional broadcasting than Major League Baseball.
Gotcha. Okay.
They just signed a $5 billion extension with Fox 3 years ago or something like that. And then every team has its own regional package as well. Baseball financially is in absolutely no trouble, has no income issues. They might not pull the gate that they used to, but you still got plenty of teams that are pulling 3 million plus people in that are buying 3 plus $12 beers a game. Hey, yo, baseball got the bag to do it. The bigger thing is that baseball had to start getting that money back into the players' hands the way that they needed to too. And not just the top guys, but they needed to get it across the board. That's the whole thing. They needed to be able to get that money to the lower tier players as well, because Aaron Judge was always going to get his cash. You know what I'm saying? Mike Trout was going to get his cash, but you got to start taking care of those guys that are coming through the minor leagues and letting them get to the bag a little bit quicker and be able to start to have pay equity, because baseball had a whole lot of Karl Marx, you know what I'm saying, proletariat bourgeoisie shit going on for a while there. But I mean, that's why they're able to see a guy that's like 40 years old, like Justin Verlander, sign a 2-year contract for $86 million. Just like you see Aaron Judge sign a $360 million deal to be the heart of the Yankees. You know what I mean? Now,
how many years is on that deal?
9 years.
Damn.
So I mean, but everything, just hear me out right now. Everything is setting up for what's about to go down next winter when Shohei Ohtani get on the market. We're gonna see a contract that's gonna be on a level that it's going to be maybe the most interesting contract that we ever have. How do you pay a guy who is one of the best pitchers and one of the best hitters at the same time? How do you work that out? You're already paying the best pitcher, Jacob deGrom, who, I mean, he's not, I don't decide who's the best pitcher in baseball for yourself, but he just got paid like it. $185 million contract for 5 years. You know, Verlander got $40 million per year here. He's 40. Ohtani's going to be 30. But then you got to pay him like the guy that's hitting 30 or 40 bombs a year too. So, I mean, it's about to get crazy. And I think you're about to see a lot of people do a whole lot of begging and tricking and pleading and doing everything they can do to get in position to pay that man next winter.
Is it going to be as worse as the when we talked about the Padres last time with Soto?
I don't think you're going to see a trade. No, I mean, I think that there might be a trade. I don't know. I don't know if he finishes the year in Anaheim. They should, because he's an attraction as well. I wouldn't trade him for anything, because he's going to continue to bring you gate too. Soto's whole thing was the trade. The thing that's wild about this is I think you're getting ready to see English soccer money come to Ohtani, because he's an attraction. He's 2 elite players rolled up in one. And I mean, you and there's nothing that you can do that's going to replicate him. He's a 1-on-1.
Wow, I didn't even think about it. So it's Judge Mike Trout's the highest paid player in the league, right?
Yeah, Mike Trout's $425 million guaranteed.
Like
Judge is on annual average value. I'm talking on total package. Judge is number 3. Mookie Betts is number 2.
And basically, they're locked in for life in these clubs.
Oh yeah, they're straight. Like, I mean, if they want to go somewhere else, they'll be able to go somewhere else. But they straight. Like baseball, they taking care of you long term. Football they gonna give you the contract that's safe for them. You know what I'm talking about? Like they'll be like, hey, listen, I mean, unless you the Browns and Deshaun Watson, like they gave him his $230 guaranteed, and then he went out and couldn't even operate on third downs last week because they had to bring in Jacoby Brissett. So you gotta hope that the Browns effect don't rub off on that brother and it don't work out that way.
Oh, that's definitely gonna happen. There's no way possible it won't happen.
That's just a wild situation in general right there. But yeah, I mean, baseball money got wild this year. I mean, you saw $400 million get spent day one. I think you've already had two $300 million contracts between Judge and between Trey Turner, and you got guys. I mean, people are just getting that cake out here. Now, the thing that I'm interested to see is, the World Cup is going up right now. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's been kind of crazy. It's been really good. I've been really loving to see how many people got into it. I wish I could have bought a little bit of that action on Croatia over Brazil. You know what I mean? But I saw this morning, and I'm gonna throw this one to you. Argentina is the favorite now.
Nah, it's France.
No, Argentina is the favorite.
I know, but I'm saying, like, for real, it's France. The only reason that is because Messi, they want the script for the World Cup's best script was already got messed up, because the big money was Ronaldo versus Messi in the final. That was the money. Like, do you know that would have been the biggest sporting event worldwide seen in history if that would have been the final?
It would have been right up there with Dream Team level action.
I think even more.
You got the
two players that people, that'd be like Jordan going up against Irving, and they're both of their and they were like counterpart. Or no, not Jordan. Magic Johnson and Bird going up against each other at the end of their careers for the last championship they both could ever go after at 38.
I mean, they can come over here and win an MLS Cup. I mean, that's what the people really want and need right there.
Hey, look, and Messi's going to come over here and own half the MLS. That's how much they're going to have to pay him.
So let me ask you this. Before we get ready to get up out of here, man. I know we got a couple of things that we wanted to touch on, but I want to ask you this since we're here.
Yep.
Is what's going to be the impact for where soccer goes after this World Cup is over? Are people going to find ways to continue to watch the global game, or will people just get really excited for it when the World Cup comes back around, like the Olympics?
That's a good question. I think there's going to be a little mixture of both. The thing is that the Premier League is going to benefit the most off of all this, because they have the actual regular TV contract that you could just get up on a Sunday, Saturday morning and go to NBC or USA or, Peacock or any of those. It's accessible. ESPN Plus, I don't think as many people have that as a Peacock or USA or
Paramount
TV or Paramount or anything like that. Somebody maybe get up like, man, I'm gonna drink some coffee. Oh, snap, some soccer on. Let me just check it out. And then you get the game with Holland or somebody. You're like, dang, this is ridiculous. He got 7 goals in one game. This is okay. Maybe they don't become like a fan of a club, but you have more people drinking coffee on a Saturday morning, maybe watching a game.
Yeah, I think that's a good outcome. I'm really curious to see about what it does here locally. Like, I'm always interested to see what the kids are watching.
Well, St. Louis had the second or third TV watching of the World Cup so far.
I believe it. It's nuts. It's nuts here. So, I mean, that's why I'm also interested to hear how it's doing in other cities. Like, I've seen some pretty big watch parties. Like, I saw some of my homies over in KC was getting up and watching. There was some big parties over there and stuff like that. So I'm real interested to see what happens with this going forward, and if it starts to fulfill more of its potential here.
I mean, the Messi thing is a big cog in this, man. If they get Messi this summer, that's the pickup. Like, that's your jump off. Like they almost literally like, Messi, we'll give you 2% in the league for like 3 or 4 years on top of your $15 million salary. Just come, because then people have a name, especially if Messi wins this World Cup. Because then you'll have a name you can attach that people know and have seen and be like, oh, I know that. He played for Miami. He's coming to Columbus. I'm going to the game.
How important is it for Messi to win this cup?
It depends on if Miami has a contract already. They already got a contract set up. But then Messi could do some switcheroo on them and be like, oh, I'm popping again. Let me stay over in Europe and get some more bread.
Hey, man, I'm excited to see how it works out. I'm excited to see my man.
You need Messi to go to the final and lose. That's the perfect situation.
I'm excited to see my man Mbappe out here getting his shine, picking up France, doing what they got to do, man. But, hey, like we said.
Last one. No, we got one more.
What's up?
Jerry Jones.
Oh, God. I was going to try to get away. No,
because I'm using that for the clip. I'm using the Jerry Jones for the clip. I was going to try to get out of here. Jerry Jones goes up online.
Hold on. So Jerry Jones, who's had just an incredible last 2 weeks here, with sticking his foot in his mouth, comes out this week and he's fed up. He's coming to the defense of all people, Daniel Snyder, who, by the way, Daniel Snyder, who comes out and essentially gets blamed with obstruction of a U.S. Congress investigation this week. Jerry Jones' response to that is, well, if the Republicans in office, this would have never got brought up in the first place. This is ridiculous. I'm like, yo, son, you basically just said that if your boys are still there, y'all still be getting away with y'all bullshit.
How is Dan Snyder?
Hey, is this when keeping it real goes wrong? Nothing's gonna happen to Jerry. Nothing's gonna happen to Jerry. But boy, to wash down the fact that you was at the picket line of one of the biggest racial divide moments of all time.
He has not hired us for his PR team. First of all, he should have said it wasn't me. We've already commented on this previously before. He should have said it wasn't him. And he should have just went low. Like, don't say nothing, Jerry. Just get low. Like, why? You don't have to do press conferences. You don't have to talk. You
don't have to say anything.
That's what I'm saying.
You got it made, bro.
Low. Stay low.
Hey, let me ask you a question. Let me ask you a question real quick. Who owns the Minnesota Vikings?
Don't know.
Because they stay low, fam. Like, they good. They out here chilling.
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
Stay low.
But Jerry been in the spotlight so long. Because this is really his league. He's the de facto commissioner. Am I right?
I mean, he absolutely is the Michael Corleone of the NFL.
So he thinks he's Teflon. He don't think that he could get shot in the back at his old age, just like Michael Corleone did. Well, or die at your old age in a wheelchair, just like anybody else. He think, oh, I'm gonna be the Don forever. Look here,
man. The times are moving fast out here, bro.
A lot of drug dealers thought they'd be the king for a long time too. Avon Barksdale thought he was gonna be the king forever too, and look what happened to him. He didn't get low.
Is Jerry Jones the Nino Brown of the NFL?
100%.
Oh my God, that means Jerry gonna have to fall off then. That means they're going to have to get Jerry.
If he don't look, they already. It's the fans are watching, which means the media. They are going to try to jam him up on they're going to find a tape of him saying the N-word at some point. It's coming.
And that still won't be enough to make that annoying.
It won't
Cowboys
be enough,
fan.
but it's just a little.
It won't be enough to make that annoying Cowboys fan in your town leave the Cowboys either, because there's still a whole lot of WWE fans after Vince McMahon got put up out the paint.
Look. You know what? That's our final question. If all our listeners, especially Crew Love, you were the main one in here talking about the Cowboys. What would it take for you to not be a Cowboys fan?
Hey, man, walking away from your own team is one of the hardest decisions you've ever got to make in life. That is excruciating. I know brothers that will leave their wives quicker than they'll leave their teams. And that ain't no indictment on the marriage. That's just the reality of how close cats be with their teams. You know my policy. You with your sports team, if you really down for the cause and you really is an old school team first, player second fan, you with your team longer than you with your wife. You got your team after your parents gone, and you know them before your kids. Your team is going to be your longest constant in your life if you an old school team first fan. It's just the reality.
So if Jerry Jones comes out and they just, and he has a slave sweatshop in Southern Texas.
So Jerry Jones runs Nike. Go on, keep going.
But yeah, and it's all disabled Hispanic and Black children in there with only one arm, making churning oil.
Is that too much?
Is that too? Do Cowboys fans say, well, those kids didn't have no other opportunities because they only have one arm?
Those kids didn't have any other opportunities, and Jerry gave them one.
Damn. We gave their excuse. That's the excuse.
Damn. I hope not. I'll just say I hope not. Hey, man, let's do this again next Sunday, man. I think
Next Sunday we'll be here right before the games.
I think it might be time to get into a little bit of this. Some things starting to develop in the NBA. You know what I'm saying? Who knows what this week is going to bring? The last few weeks of just between Deion Sanders and Herschel Walker and Britney Griner and got deep at Deshaun Watson. It's just been a true blessing. Maybe we'll talk a little college football playoffs next week.
Yeah, and to your dad asked about Ronaldo. I thought this up here real quick. This is when the emperor has no clothes on with Ronaldo. This is just a full undressing now at this point. I don't know. He's gonna go play some. If you guys remember the movie Mr. Baseball with Tom Selleck, where he went over to
Tom
Japan.
Selleck?
Yeah, that's what Ronaldo is doing now. That's my answer to you, Mr. Whitener. The movie. It might be the sequel, Mr. Soccer.
My God, who's gonna play Ronaldo?
Ooh, Ronaldo
gonna play himself?
You think he wouldn't?
No, that's true. That's fair.
Muhammad Ali played himself in his own biography.
Jackie Robinson did too.
And you think Ronaldo, out of everybody,
yeah, that's
he think his physical physique is at the point he still look flight. Like I still look young. I can
still
do this.
Who's gonna have the better later years? This will be our last joint. Mm-hmm. Who's gonna have the better next 5 years? Ronaldo or Tom Brady?
Ronaldo
over Tom Brady.
Yeah. All right.
Tom Brady,
because Ronaldo's got like all this money into like cosmetics and like his whole
and he wears all those cosmetics too.
Yes.
Hey, Tom Brady just came out this morning and he said he keeping all options open for 20.
Oh, we lost Matt. We lost Matt in the feed. So yeah, we're gonna wrap it up, everybody. Unless he comes back in a second. Thank y'all for listening. Oh, there he is. He back. There you go.
Yeah, I got a call. But yeah, love, baby. We out here, man. Next week, scenario. Let's keep it cooking.
All right. Peace, y'all.
All right, y'all. Peace.